There are so many things on this journey that fucked us over. Reprogramming consciously and subconsciously beliefs, ideas, thoughts, behaviors that we had to say goodbye to in order for be here today, having and enjoying the life as a business owner, as a female entrepreneur. But that wasn't the case always for us. That's why on this segment, every Monday, we are getting together with Lucy Bekker to bring to you the segment of the things that fucked us over. It's just a normal conversation between two female entrepreneurs that enjoy their businesses, that are thriving with their businesses, to share in a raw, real way what are the things that we had to overcome and how we did it and why we did it and what is the impact and results on your money mindset and your ability to grow your business. It's a very fun conversation, and I can wait for you to listen to this segment that we have for you. Hello and welcome to the Money Mindset Show, the place where we help female entrepreneurs to transform their mind so that they can achieve financial success in the least amount of time. Here, we talk about subconscious mind, we talk about money mindset shifts, money mindset blocks, a strategy so that you can bypass your own money mindset and increase your income, better your relationship with money, and grow your business. On this podcast, our unique goal is for you to walk away with a different perspective and with a different set of thoughts, beliefs, and mindset that helps you in your journey to achieve financial success. Wait, before we start, I need you to know this. If you are part of those who are working harder and longer but still not seeing the profits you deserve and want, you can now download our bestseller Secret of High Earning Female CEOs. Download From Overwork to CEO now and unlock the breakthrough you've been waiting for. The best part, access is for free for a limited time.
We started touching on this last time, and I feel like you and I are both just a little bit like this. You get an idea and you're like, that's it.
Right.
Like, you've got to do it. You just have to go. So when I had finished high school, I was still a youth worker at the time. So I was working with teenagers. And I was like leading camps and I was leading whatever. And so a logical step for me, that's the key word here. Logically, I wanted to travel and I was working with teenagers, right? So I was working with young people and I was like, I could go to Camp America. Like, that makes so much sense. Oh my gosh, this is like my whole life stream coming together. And I remember I started applying. I started getting interviews at camps. And I got rejected from every single one of them. Like, I couldn't tell you why. Like, it might have been a difference in ideologies because they were whatever, like they were quite specific on that sort of thing. Like, and I remember specifically thinking, why am I waiting around for somebody to hand me an opportunity? Like, why am I this is not the way that I do things. I'm not waiting for somebody to tell me that I'm good enough or waiting around for somebody to tell me that I can have something. And so this had been like months of planning at this point in time to start, like getting jobs, getting visas. Then I sat down with myself and I was like, what do you actually want? What do you actually want right now? I'm like, honestly, South America has been calling my name for years, like years and years. I'm like, all I want to do is dance. All I want to do is hike up and down South America. And what that decision had been made. It was like I'd booked a ticket with 24 hours. Like I was like, I'm going to LA. And none of that crazy, except that I'd been telling everybody for like months and months. I'm going to Camp America. I'm doing this thing. Like, I've already paid all the fees. And so I called my representative and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. You can keep your deposits. And he's like, I don't think you should do that. You already know, like, you just got to keep waiting. I was like, I've already booked a ticket. So that the decision's already been made. And it was like the best fucking decision of my whole life. And so I just booked the tickets and then I went to South America by myself for 6 months. And it was like everything that I dreamed of. And it was like amazing.
Wow.
But yeah, I just like, wow, I've told everybody I'm doing this and now I'm going to go do like literally the exact opposite.
People underestimate how that can play on our heads, because just like you described, the only problem is that I already told everybody that I was doing the other thing. It's kind of like you develop a personality that wants to keep up with that. And then instead of you're like, but let's do the thing. And the thing is that personality that you have developed by telling people, it's very strong because it holds you to the standard. I had exactly the same with New Zealand. I had exactly the same with almost every project that I do. Because I just get excited to do the one thing, and then with time also, and understanding, oh, maybe this is not exactly what I want, then I just change. But with time, what I have learned and what I have trained myself to is not giving a fuck about it. Really, like, oh yeah, I said I was going to do this, but guess what? Surprise, I want to do this other thing. It rarely happens that it's like completely opposite, because now I've been very in tune with myself. But definitely coming to New Zealand, that's another story. Like leaving everything and going to New Zealand, to me was exactly the same feeling. I've been investing on this. I'm having the job in the United States. I'm doing this. And then, boom, New Zealand. Yeah, exactly. I'm leaving within a month. I mean, it's a lot, but it's that mind that we have not been trained to really understand that you can change your plans. You should change your plans if you don't feel in alignment, to be honest, because especially as a business owner, you are not what you're working for to hold a standard that would.
Yeah, I would love to know your thoughts, because I feel like the flip side of this as entrepreneurs, do these things that you want. And I have trained myself to listen to that voice. Is this what I really, truly want? But the flip side of it is, oh, you're flaky. Like, oh, you can't stick to something. Like, oh, you have to commit to things to make them work. And you're just running away scared because something's not working. I would love to know if you have any thoughts on the flip side of that. If somebody came back to you and it's like, oh, you don't know how to commit to things. Like, well, you can't see them through because it's hard, you know?
And I do have a strong point of view on this side, but I think that the difference here is commitment to what? Because when you're committed to something that feels forced, it doesn't matter how long you are into that thing, you're going to hate it. That's the end of the story. Like I can put you an example. I remember back on Colombia with my parents, there was a really rigorous discipline around homework and schoolwork. And I've been working since I'm 14 years old. So I really had a structure, right? And there was the moment that I didn't get to decide what was on that schedule, that I was imposed, right? So I had to commit because somebody else told me to do that for a long time, and I hated from beginning to end. I just did it. Okay, you told me that I had to commit for 3 months. I made it to the line of 3 months. It didn't work, and I prove you why it didn't work, right? So our mind is always looking for the justification. Let me prove you why it's not going to work or why it's not working. But then when you get into doing whatever it is that you want to do, maybe the thing that you said you were going to do at first didn't feel aligned, it didn't feel good for however long you did it. And then you started to do this other thing and you felt very good about it. It may run those 3 same months and you are like, oh, I maybe can continue doing this. And how that looks in business is, I think that the main difference here is nobody can push you to do anything that you don't want to do. Because if, let's say, I'm your coach and I push you to commit to something for 4 months, and that motivation or that feeling, not properly motivation, but that desire to make it work or to figure out is not within yourself, I'm just gonna traumatize your mind, saying you just have to do it and see how this doesn't work. It's simply like when I hear people saying you have to commit for at least 3 months, I agree. Okay, you have to commit with 3 months with the right things, with the things that you have, that you feel in alignment to, with the things that inspires you or keeps you interested, or it a glimpse or something. You cannot commit to something that you are completely out of it. If you are out of it, why would you commit in the first place? You're just wasting time. And time is super valuable in business. It depends, right? It depends on what kind of commitment, like everything that we talk about, mindset as well. It depends. It depends on what you find interesting. It depends on how you work. Because sometimes you got people that have been taught since very little that the only way that they get to do things is by pushing themselves through the hell until they get to the other line. So if that is you and you don't want to change your mind, you are okay with being that way, then you probably need to push through that line and then you are going to see the other side. I know for myself that doesn't work. If I hate at the beginning, I'm going to hate at the end. So I'm just going to step back in a second.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I think you summed it up like in that one sentence, like commitment to what though? I'm like, oh my God, I love it. Yeah. And I think just like a final thought of that, it's okay to enjoy something for a little while and then be like, yeah, okay, that was fun. And now move on to the next
thing. And what many people don't know, that the food for your brain is desirable and interesting. If something is interesting enough, if something is desirable enough, your brain wants to do it automatically. But the moment that it stops being one or the two things is the moment that your body wants to push through because you already have the command. But it's the most natural response is that the moment that I stop enjoying this, I'm just going to back up. It's okay. It's literally how your brain is working. It's how kids work. They are playing for 1 second and the next second it's just, I'm bored. I don't want to play this anymore. And that's fine. And it's literally how we build our brain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if something will click. Something you'll be like, I am never ever letting this go. And that doesn't have to be business related. Like I know for me personally, I was a teenager and I saw my sisters and they had their passion. They had a passion. They were like so committed to music and they're so committed to like singing and music and their craft. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to the end of high school and I don't have a passion. And then like it took me until I was maybe my early to mid 20s to find like my dance community. And I am so wildly passionate about it now. Like I am at every class, I'm at every competition, I'm like teaching other people how to do it. And that takes a while and that has fucking nothing to do with business. I tried all sorts of different dance styles, but like something will click for you. And I know that like money for you You're like, it doesn't matter how you're teaching it. It doesn't matter how you're talking about it, like something clicks eventually. And that's okay.
Like, to me, yes, it's not business related, but goes into my business, and it's finding my voice with money. When I took the drastic decision to live in New Zealand, I knew I wasn't walking away from just a country or a situation. I was walking away from a mentality that I didn't know how to break. I felt I was consumed by it. I felt that it was something inside of me that couldn't grow if it continued on that environment with those rules, with those same mental barriers and borders and limitations. In fact, I came back to the United States in 2021 when COVID hit it or something like that.
Yeah.
And I've been living in the US and it's a completely different thing. It's the same city, it's the same kind of conditions, but it's a completely different thing because what it clicked back then, it is not living. It's my voice, my point of view, my difference between being somebody that takes everything as they give it to somebody that has a voice, to somebody that really express herself, her opinions, has helped people. And it's a different kind of point of view. And if I think back on when I was growing up, I would be the one talking at the birthday parties. Like in Colombia, we have this thing that we do. Like, okay, everybody give a speech and blah, blah, blah. I will be the one who will be standing out first, and I will make the speech and I will talk nearly and
Oh my God, same.
yeah. I mean, you can already imagine the empowerment and blah, blah, blah. Everybody was expecting me to talk. And somehow, in this adultish life that I live, leading me to the US, I lost that. I didn't know why. I was just following like everything. And it's like, oh, I miss that part. I miss sitting down and talking whatever is true to me and believing that is the truth for myself. So everything that I do now is around those lines. So business related and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I feel that. I feel that. Oh my gosh. I love that. And I know there's like recently there's lots of reels going around saying, if you want to discover who you are, like what were you interested in when you were like 13? All right. I was on stage, like I was speaking and I was talking and I was inspiring people. Like I said, I ran youth group for ages. I was doing that literally from 13 years old. I was like, oh, well, I've got all my curriculum for the week and I'm teaching people and it's really fun. And like, I'm like, oh, I'm still doing that. And like, because going overseas, I don't know if I keep running everything, but I'm like, I can't stop teaching. I can't stop sharing it. I'm just like not physically capable of not talking about that. So I think we are very kindred spirit. Like I can't not talk. I can't not share that. And in affirmation, I have from like my very first year of business, and it's always been the same, is my voice is important. Like my voice is important and I am unstoppable. Every year I come back to that same mantra and that doesn't matter what I'm talking about. It's just, it's as you say, it's that affirmation. If I believe that what I have to say is important simply because it's me saying it, and that's fucking powerful. That's world shifting.
I mean, that I just felt when you said that. I believe what I have to say is important just because I'm the source. I'm the fucking source that is making this. This is something that female entrepreneurship especially can benefit a lot. Because what I see with most of my clients over and over in that trauma showing up is, well, who am I? And then that who am I comes back with the voice of what I say holds not true at all. And literally the first person and the only person that you have to convince is that other side of yourself. It's like you to convince that it is powerful. It holds through because it's your truth. And who are other people to say that's not your reality? And not even your partner that live with you can never say that the reality that you are describing is not what you are feeling, because nobody really can live that for you.
Man, and that's how you build an authentic brand, right? There's like, speak from your own experience, speak for what's true for you. 'Cause people can't tell you that's not real. And you're like, well, that is my lived experience. You can't tell me that's not true for me. You're like, and you don't have to say it as law. Like, this is the only way to think. It's like, here's my experience. I hope that it helps you with your own experience. Like, I hope it speaks some kind of truth into your experience. And it doesn't have to be absolute truth, I think is important. As I don't have to be the guru. I don't have to be the final authority on this. But I feel like if you're in this space, you probably have the same pull and desire that you and I have. It's just like, I have something to fucking say. And like, social media is so good for it. Like, if you can just say it out loud. And the amount of people that come back and say, oh, thank you for saying that. Oh my God, like I feel so seen and I feel so whatever. And I'm like, this is me just literally just talking. But it's because I believe that like what I have to say can impact people, even if it's just like one person. Yeah, powerful. Oh my God,
I learned from the RT. So I did RT courses for clearing trauma. There you go. For clearing trauma, the financial trauma. So the RRT, the rapid resolution therapy by John Connolly, it's so impactful because it's a way of communicating. And one thing that I learned from him, being the master that he is at understanding brain and human behavior, he always tells you, and therefore now I always tell my clients, this is only a point of view. This is a point of view that have helped this. Please, by no means take this as a unique and only point of view, because it's just mine. It's the mind that I have developed in all these times that has shown to be effective on these cases. But the way that he says it, it really lifts a heavy weight on the shoulders, because now in social media, we are so used to seeing, oh, this is the expert, or that is the expert, or if this person is saying it, it's because it must be true. But it is true for that point of view. For other situation may be different. And you may be facing a situation or a current reality where none of that is working. So you have to come up with your own thing. And then you're going to go and market that and build your business around that. So if you start comparing like, oh, my truth is not what other piece is conceiving as a expertise, then it doesn't hold weight. What are you doing? It's just like you are literally buying, you're literally giving away your value of your point of view because of somebody else's.
Yeah, I think we might have talked about this last time about just Denise Duffield Thomas saying like, you're just contributing to the conversation. Like, you don't have to be the final word on it. Yeah. Like, that just completely shifted whole world.
Conversation.
Oh my God, I can talk and I don't have to know everything. Oh
right, because the conversation is pretty broad, and it has, I always come back to the obvious example of the Latino birthdays, where all of our cousins, the ones that we don't even know existed before, come around to the table, and it's a huge party. Like, I'm thinking specifically on New Year's Eve, 31st of December.
Yeah.
On my great-grandparents' house, they had 12 kids. And those 12 kids had multiple kids, right? So you will enter to the house and you will know at, let's say, 10% of the people, but the rest you didn't know. And they start talking. But it
something really interesting happens, that when somebody starts talking about one topic, the other one comes and share their experience, and it becomes the topic of the night. So it becomes a topic of, I don't know, politics, unfortunately. But everybody is just like giving their opinions, and it becomes this snowball of opinions and conversation point of view that you're just part of it. If you get angry because people is not listening to you because you have the most experience, you know what happens in those reunions? Nobody gives a shit. Everybody continues talking because that exactly. The point is to contribute to that conversation that is happening. And it's the same with businesses. It's just that, and circling back to this commitment thing that we were just talking about before, the thing is that you hold that truth and you talk about your point of view long enough for different people to get to know that is your point of view, not only for a New Year's Eve. It's throughout your whole career, right? And that's when you start to seeing who resonates with it and who doesn't, because the people that resonates with it becomes your client, and the people that who doesn't, then it shows you what is it that you want to do, whether you want to tweak that message, which I don't really understand why, but whether you want to tweak whatever you're talking about to appeal to that target audience, or you just become so absolutely freaking in love with your point of view and attract more of the people that resonate with that point of view. I love that. I'm just in love with my point of view. And it's very easy to be like, oh, see up yourself. I'm like, yeah, a little bit. Like, I think quite, yeah, why? What?
Okay, but before I let you go, did you know that you have a space where your money mindset work is made extra simple so that you can increase your income, better your relationship with money, and grow your business in such a simple and easy way? Go to themoneymindset.hub.com and choose your path and start making those changes easily and effortlessly. That is themoneymindset.hub.com. Ahora sí, Wealthy Soul, if you love this episode, don't forget to leave a review down below. It will help me to help more wealthy souls to transfer their money mindset.